Everyone lives avoiding boredom like the plague. Netflix, TikTok, games, anything to avoid spending even 5 minutes alone with their own thoughts. But then Schopenhauer comes along and gives you a reality check. Boredom isn't your enemy, it's your best teacher. The truth is, we live in a society addicted to stimulation. If you're not consuming something, producing something, or being bombarded with information, you panic. Wow, how empty. I need to do something. And what happens? You become a hamster on a wheel, chasing the next distraction, the next cheap dopamine hit. Meanwhile, you completely lose touch with who you truly are. Schopenhauer already knew this in the 19th century. He said that human life oscillates between two poles, need and boredom. When you don't have what you want, you suffer from the lack. When you get everything, you get bored. Seems like a dead end, right? But here's the trick. Boredom isn't the problem. It's the solution. Boredom as a gateway to consciousness. Think about it. When was the last time you were truly bored? Not that fake boredom where you scroll through your phone complaining about having nothing to do. I'm talking about that deep boredom where you simply exist. That's when the magic happens. Because when you stop running from the void, you start to notice things that were always there. Your real thoughts, not the ones the algorithm implanted in your head. Your genuine desires, not the ones marketing created for you. Remember Senku from Dr. Stone? Dude was literally petrified for thousands of years, conscious, unable to do anything. And that's exactly what made him an even greater genius. He used forced boredom to process knowledge, to reflect, to get to know himself better. Boredom is basically your mind doing a spring cleaning, throwing out junk, organizing drawers, making connections you never made. But you interrupt this process every time you pick up your phone to just take a quick look. The overstimulation trap modern society has created a perfect trap. It has convinced you that being still is a waste of time. Be productive. Optimize your life. Learn something new. Result, you become a zombie consuming content 24/7. Podcasts while walking, videos while eating, music while working. Never a second of silence, never a moment of emptiness. And then you wonder why you feel anxious, why you can't concentrate, why you feel like life is passing you by. It's because you're avoiding the only moment where life truly happens, the empty, distraction-free present. Schopenhauer said that the biggest mistake is to confuse movement with progress. Being busy doesn't mean you're evolving. More often than not, it means you're running away from yourself. Boredom as a superpower. Now comes the good part. When you stop fearing boredom, it becomes your ally. First, you develop real self-discipline, not the fake discipline of following schedules and to-do lists, but the ability to be with yourself without despairing. Second, your creativity explodes. Do you know why great artists always talk about inspiration? Because they know how to be bored. It's in the void that the most original ideas emerge, not in the midst of chaos. Look at Saitama from One Punch Man. The guy is literally the most powerful hero in the universe, but he's constantly bored. And it's precisely this boredom that makes him unique. He doesn't need the adrenaline of fighting to feel alive. He simply is. Third, you stop being manipulated. When you don't need constant stimulation, you become immune to the distractions the world throws in your face. Advertising? Doesn't work. Drama on social media? Whatever. FOMO? No way. How to embrace boredom in practice. The recipe is simple but not easy. First, create moments of boredom on purpose. No, it's not meditation. It's literally doing nothing. Sit in a chair and stay there. No music, no book, no cell phone. Just you and your thoughts. At first, it will be hell. Your mind will scream, do something, anything, but resist. Let the storm pass. Second, stop filling every free second with activities. A walk without a podcast, lunch without YouTube, a shower without music. Allow some gaps in your schedule. Third, accept that not every moment needs to be productive. Staring at the ceiling for an hour isn't a waste of time. It's an investment in your sanity. The wisdom of emptiness. Schopenhauer had a somewhat pessimistic view of life, but he got one thing right. Most human suffering comes from not knowing how to deal with existential emptiness. So we fill our lives with crap just to avoid feeling this emptiness. Work, toxic relationships, addictions, consumerism, anything to escape the confrontation with our own existence. But what Schopenhauer discovered, and few have the courage to experience, is that this emptiness is not terrible. In fact, it's liberating. When you stop running from boredom, You stop being a slave to your artificial needs. You no longer need the next series to feel good. You no longer need the approval of others to feel complete. You no longer need external achievements to feel valuable. You're simply okay with being empty. The paradox of satisfaction, and therein lies the paradox. The less you need, the more satisfied you are. It's like that Zen saying, you are richest when you need least. In Attack on Titan, Erwin Smith spends the entire anime obsessed with discovering the truth about the world. But when he's finally about to discover everything, he realizes that the search was more important than the outcome. And it's in the moment of greatest emptiness, when he gives up his own ambition, that he finds peace. Schopenhauer said that life is essentially suffering, but there was a way out: disinterested contemplation. Moments where you simply observe existence without wanting anything from it. No judging, no craving, no running away, just observing. And these moments, what most people call boredom, are actually the only moments of true freedom. The courage to be boring. Ultimately, embracing boredom is an act of rebellion. It's refusing the collective addiction to overstimulation. It's choosing depth over surface. It's having the courage to be considered boring by the world. Because let's face it, a person who doesn't need constant entertainment is seen as strange. How come you haven't seen the show everyone's talking about? How come you don't have a workout playlist? How come you're just thinking? But this strangeness is your superpower. While everyone else is addicted to the next dopamine hit, you're cultivating something rare: inner peace. And Schopenhauer was right. In the end, this peace is worth more than all the distractions in the world. So the next time you feel boredom creeping in, don't run. Don't pick up your phone. Don't turn on the TV. Don't invent a task. Sit with it. Make friends. Because it didn't come to destroy you. It came to free you. And who knows, in the midst of all this stillness, you'll discover who you truly are when no one is watching. When there's nothing to prove, nothing to consume, nothing to do. Just you in the infinite vastness of the present moment. Schopenhauer called this nirvana. I call it finally having peace. In the end, this peace is worth more than all the distractions in the world. So the next time you feel boredom coming on, don't run. Don't pick up your phone. Don't turn on the TV. Don't invent a task. Sit with it. Make friends. Because it didn't come to destroy you. It came to free you. And who knows, in the midst of all this stillness, you'll discover who you truly are when no one is watching. When there's nothing to prove, nothing to consume, nothing to do. Just you in the infinite vastness of the present moment. Schopenhauer called this nirvana. I call it finally having peace. So did you manage to stay until the end without picking up your phone? If you've made it this far, you've already proven that you have the potential to truly embrace boredom. But the journey is just beginning. If this conversation resonated with you, if you felt like, wow, I need to stop running away from myself, then you'll enjoy the other videos on the channel. Here we break down philosophy in a way that actually works in real life. No fluff, no boring academic discourse, just ideas that will change the way you see things. So here's what you need to know. Click the red button below to subscribe, because if you don't do it now, you'll forget in 5 minutes when the next distraction comes along. And turn on the bell too. Not for me, but for yourself. Because every week I bring a new philosophical perspective that might be exactly what you need to hear at that moment. And if you really enjoyed this reflection on boredom, leave a comment telling me, when was the last time you were truly bored doing nothing? I want to know if you still remember what that feeling is like. Now go ahead, subscribe, and the next time you're feeling bored, instead of rushing to TikTok, remember this video. Sit down with it, make friends, because boredom isn't your enemy, it's your next teacher. Until the next reflection. And thank you for sticking around until the end without wandering off to something else.